Cashione's got time. Now he rolls. He's going to put it up. Clock's going to run out, and it is intercepted. Picked off, and RPI is going to retain the Dutchman Shoes Trophy and head to the NCAA tournament.
Our one-game mindset really kicked in, and our mental training really kicked in towards the end of the year when we had to win those, I think, 5 games in a row after 2 huge losses. But it really shows that we built a culture here of mental strength and just mental toughness.
I think it's the culture. I think it's the belief, the mentality that our guys have of playing one play at a time and getting after it for 60 minutes. So it's a culture of excellence, I think, is what we've established here, and it's a standard that our guys live up to every single day and play to that standard.
I think a big factor was the mental stuff we do. We do a lot of mental conditioning with Brian Kane, and I think that's a big factor in our ability to bounce back and our success overall.
I think it's our commitment to our work ethic and staying focused on each day what needs to get done. I really believe that we have talent, but without work, that talent won't be able to achieve all of its potential. We stay very focused and we work really hard at what we do.
Well, obviously the success on both sides of the ball, you got to give credit to the defense. They do a great job every year. Offense, I think every position group has really come together. We work pretty cohesively. I'd like to say it starts with the O-line, but everyone definitely does their part.
Just the combination of having people at every position just doing their job. The D linemen get unbelievable rushing, and it causes the quarterback to make missed throws. And we have DBs who can go up and get there, and we have linebackers who are taking care of the run game for us. And it's just the whole combination of everyone doing their job and not trying to do too much has really helped our success.
That's definitely something interesting about football, is that there are very different aspects of types of players on a team, but at the end of the day, we all have a common goal, and that is to win football games. That is kind of our common bond, I believe, as a team. At the end of the day, we do have meetings individually, we do have practice time that we're individually working, but at the end of the day, we want to come together and collaborate and win together, so that's kind of what we rally around.
The way we handle adversity has always really impressed me. We always fight, never end, the game's never over. No matter what the score is, we're always fighting.
This past season going, to the NCAA playoffs, I think was born out of the previous seasons. This was the 4th year in a row that we went to postseason play. It's 2 out of the last 3 years where we at least won a share of the conference. So our guys had the belief that they could play with anyone on the schedule.
The culture that I came into when I was a freshman was different for sure. Coach Al was trying to build his sort of brand of football. I think now in his 5th season here, I think you can kind of see the maturity of that program and of that culture kind of starting to build. He's been the rock of this program since I've stepped on campus here day one, and I don't think without Coach Al we would be where we're at today.
We've been to a postseason game every year, which is great, and it's just something that was handed to us that we want to keep going and hand to the next generation of the team.
It's going to take, like you said, we all focus on one game at a time, and even more, we try to take that down to the play level and one play at a time, really focusing every single play, doing our job, and there's just certain mental mistakes that we can eliminate from last year, and just making sure we are best at not getting penalties and make sure we do our job every single play, and really having consistency is what is going to try to take us to the next level.
Coach I talks about getting 1% better every day, and so that carries on from the past season as well. We're just always trying to do better than we did the previous week or the previous day. And so, just driving, we have a very winning culture. I think it's been thrived in us and everything like that.
And the phrase we always talk about is that there's always another mountain, even after a week. The football season, it kind of culminates with the game on Saturday. So when you have your meeting on Sunday and you put the last game to bed, and then you start working for the next week, it's a gradual rise to that Saturday afternoon game that you're going to be playing. So you can't ever feel that you've arrived at your destination, because once you do that, that's when you get knocked off.
I think our biggest attribute right now as an offense is that we bring back a lot of experience. I believe we bring back 8 starters that we started last year. Our offensive line is probably one of the best in the league. We have multiple all-league players that start for us there. Our skill group guys, we have multiple all-league players that return. Keaton Ackerman's a guy that's a phenomenal wide receiver for us that makes great plays. Rob Law had 3 touchdowns against Allegheny. We're very dynamic, we're very versatile, and we have a lot of depth throughout the offense, whether it's on the offensive line or a skill player. So I think that with our depth, we'll be able to kind of grind and wear teams down and hopefully put a lot of points on the board this year.
I know the offense and the skill guys are pretty tight, just as far as friends go or as teammates. We celebrate together. We have wins together. We'll go out to dinner together. They throw a few things here or there for us, but we're always complimenting each other. The receivers like hearing they had good blocks. The O-line likes hearing that you had a good block on this run or something like that. So, it goes both ways.
I think our guys, our seniors, our juniors, our sophomores, they've seen our culture. They've seen the ways that we do things, the procedures that we have, the day in and day out grind that they have to go through to be able to communicate that and also communicate our level of expectations. So it's not only the coach's level of expectations, it's the players' level. They know what it takes to build a successful organization, to have a successful season, and anything less than that is unacceptable. So that's when it comes from the coaches, that's important. But when it comes from the players, comes from our team leaders, then that resonates with the rest of the squad.
We're trying to just make sure everyone's focusing on what our core values as a team are. We have our values of start with the grind, and we have every character, compete, trust, and together. And we're kind of making sure that that's kind of the base of everything we do. We're just lifting our practice and make sure everyone's on that page. Even though we have different defense and offensive stuff, that's kind of what brings us all together. Make sure that's what the team focuses on.
Continuity with our coaching staff. We've got a ton of guys back. We've got one of the largest senior classes that I think they've ever had here for RPI football. Those guys know what we're all about. They know the expectations. So, there's not a whole lot of new teaching that needs to go on with them. So they're able to play fast. They don't have to think through stuff. And certainly from the coaching staff perspective, elevating, Coach Dittman to defensive coordinator and Coach Larson to special teams and Coach Marcello to the offensive coordinator, keeping those pieces in place.
Even at where I transferred from a D1 school, the facilities here are unmatched what I've seen places, and it's an awesome, and the staff here is awesome, and just makes everything so much easier and just lets you focus on the game.
The trainers and everybody being able to help us, and the quality of these facilities is just fantastic. Not having to worry about any of that stuff and just focusing on football.
0-0 and 1 to go. Okay, so that's the motto every single week. They wipe the slate clean. It's 0-0. You have one game to go. It's a one-game season. And that's the mentality that we have to take into it. You can't look ahead. You can't look behind. You got to stay in the present and say, okay, hey, this practice, this play, this individual step that I need to take, I need to focus on those details and let everything else take care of itself. So, it is a process. And it's, we want our guys to keep their eyes on the process, not their eyes on the prize. Don't keep your eyes on the prize. That's the end result. Keep your eyes on the process and what it takes step by step to get there.
Every day we come out here and our goal at the end of the day is to win the Liberty League. We want to win the league every year and go compete in the playoffs. Obviously, you need to win every game in our league to get there and be competitive in the playoffs, but we do feel that after last year competing in a playoff game, that our goal this year is to go out and win a playoff game.
The story that we want to write for this season, this 2018 season, that's up to them. So that's on them to write that story, write that narrative of what they want in a season. And it's a growth mindset for our guys. You can't ever think that you've arrived